Part 21. Paige's Memories. It was dark. Dad and Severus looked younger as they talked in the fields just beyond the school. Dad looked at Severus. If you're going to continue to work here at Hogwarts, Severus, there's something you should know. This is something that has to stay strictly between us, as I trust you with this. Do you understand? Yes, I understand. What is it? To put it blankly, Severus, I'm gay, which means I fancy males, not females. Because I want to have a child of my own, I must be with a woman in order to do so. You want to put behind who you fancy more to conceive a child? Yes, exactly so. Some days, yes, I'll be unhappy, but it's a risk I'm willing to take to have a child, hopefully a little girl. Why would you risk your happiness then if you fancy men? To have a child, Severus, I want one. I may not be attracted to women, but there's this one woman in particular that I do care for and may try to have a child with her. I'm trusting you with this secret, Severus, and you only to know. Don't worry, Albus. Your secret's safe with me. Fast forward, Severus and Dad were together in Dad's private house from when I was a baby. Dad seemed troubled. He couldn't think clearly, but tried to keep his composure. How could I let this happen, Severus? How could I let him do this? I'm sorry this has happened to you and her. I wish I was here to prevent it, but there's nothing we could have done. Even more so, Paige said her first word, Severus, and she's not even a year old. What was the word? I heard her mutter, Mama. I know this is going to be hard for you, but for your daughter, I'll do anything to help you keep her safe. Anything, Severus? Yes, anything at all. After what happened to Lily and James, I can't let the same thing happen to my daughter. Harry's safe for now, and hopefully my daughter will be too. Will you protect her and watch over her from afar? I know once she gets into Hogwarts, I'll get worried for her well-being, and I need someone to rely on to protect her. I trust you with that, Severus. In the way of a godfather? In a way, Severus, yes. Will you protect her? I would be honored to protect her, Albus, always. After all, she is a precious and beautiful baby girl. Another was my start at Hogwarts. The small looks and glances we would constantly give. It appeared like Severus hated me during the first year, but we warmed up to each other by year 2 and learned things about one another. We would talk whenever possible on the weekends or when he was with Dad at his office, when I would often pop by to see him. I was good at potions, so he started to notice me in class and watch me. In year 3, I started to form and feel a different connection, which led to my crush on him. I know it was wrong, but his mysteriousness and caring side drew me to him. By the 4th year, we admitted our feelings one day when we were alone and began seeing each other secretly behind Dad's back. From private potion lessons to walks along the school grounds on the weekends to thinking of an excuse for us to be together, to share kisses. But when Dad eventually found out, he was furious. It was him, me, and Severus in his office talking. Dad never raised his voice, but he was upset since me and Severus didn't talk about it and be upright to Dad. Over time, he seemed to warm up to the idea, giving Severus the approval of me and him dating. We just kept it secret, all while the Triwizard Tournament was going on that year. In a flash, I saw Dad and Severus together again at home after the 4th year. It was during that summer while I was nearby at the beach. How much do you love and care for my daughter, Severus? I've come to love and care for her deeply, Albus. I know how I feel for her can't be fully compared to how I felt about Lily, but I feel something deep about her that's hard to explain. I know she's your daughter and how you treasure her, but I'm in love with her. I'll try to be there for her for as long as I can. She's incredible. Dad smiled softly at Severus as they shared a kind glance and watched me from the window. "Always be kind to her, Severus," he stated. "She's indeed incredible. In a way, you are good for her, and she is also good for you. She's the light that shines brightly in the distance every day. You know that it's there, and it's important, as if you can stare into it forever and can't help but smile." Suddenly, I began to see images of all the kisses of love we shared whenever we were, whether it was a quick peck, in secret, or public. The handful of times we went all the way and didn't regret it in different areas of the school. How he knew to let me know that he cares for me and always will. Not to mention how he seemed to look out for me. The flashes of bad times appeared. Harry and I witnessed Dad's death, how painful it was, and the huge fight that followed afterward, which led to us breaking up. Back to all the times since Dad died, Severus sat in Dad's office in wonder, staring out into the wilderness and silently shedding tears while thinking about me. All the bickering made us frustrated. We deeply talked, and I learned the truth. This led to convincing him to make love for the last time ever, and followed by the last kiss before he gave me the "last time to see you" sign. It showed how he was in the shadows, helping or watching over me and Harry, how he saved or looked out for Harry secretly in the moment of need, and how he had a soft spot for me, not because I was the headmaster's daughter. How he knew all along what I was doing with Harry each school year and tried to watch from afar to make sure I was safe and wasn't harmed. Everything from the past few years flashed as I heard another conversation involving Dad and Severus sometime between the end of the third year and the beginning of the fourth year. Dad said, "You risk your life constantly because you're protecting her from my wishes, but you deeply care for her. I know you, and I know what I see. You're in love with my daughter." All of the glances and looks, with knowledge of the possible hardships that would come for being with her. "You might be brave, but don't deny what's in front of you. What about the Dark Lord? If he comes back, I'll put her in danger. I can't risk that. She's a Dumbledore. I taught her many things, and she'll continue to learn. I'm sure she can look after herself, with some help, of course. We'll have to protect young Harry and Paige. I don't want to be stubborn, but these feelings aren't like any other. She's beautiful, intelligent like you, funny. Her laugh and smile light up my heart, and seeing how kind she is with everyone around her. She's like no other student or young woman I had seen since Lily all those years ago. Whatever may happen in the future, I don't want to lose her." I started to see flashes of us smiling together, laughing, and sharing hugs and kisses. All of the happy moments made him forget about the things and learn to live life. I heard in Severus's voice what he whispered to me in my ear in year 2. "You're a different, Paige. So different in a beautiful way. You'll grow up into a gorgeous and talented woman. Just wait and see." In a flash, it was a moment during year 4 on a weekend, and me and Severus were holding hands and walking on school grounds. "I'm scared for Harry, Severus. I'm afraid something is going to go wrong with the last part of the maze. I can feel it. You and I know things have been somewhat off all year. I still blame Potter for stealing, but I won't discuss that with you. You know Harry didn't take anything, Severus. I know he didn't. We'll see in time, my dear." He stopped walking as he let go of my hand and cupped my face with both hands. "I know you're scared, Paige. But me and your father will be here for protection. I won't let anything happen to you, all right? I care too much about your well-being to let anyone hurt you. Never thought I would see the day where you become a total softie outside of teaching potions. I only do when it comes to you, Paige. You should know this by now. Still, it's a side I love to see. It makes you a completely different person and the part of you I fell in love with in the first place." I placed my hands on top of his as he leaned down and kissed my forehead. You are a diamond in the rough, Page Dumbledore, a terrific student and the headmaster's daughter, but also someone I never expected to fancy. I love you, Severus. I love you as well, Paige. He softly placed a kiss upon my lips while holding my face, in a pure moment in time that seemed to freeze. At the end of it all, Harry and I were the last things he saw, and he knew I have this love for him as he did for me. But deep inside his heart, he knew Harry was good for me, and he would take care of me. Then, as a last memory, it was the last private talk Dad had with Severus before Dad died. I know this for sure, Albus. Dad looked at Severus, and Severus looked at him with a kind stare. I know I'll become cold-hearted and change my ways, but I'll protect Paige. I'll care for her and love her. I'll make sure she's safe and sound. I promise. I know whatever her future lies, I feel she'll be fine. She became my past and present. It will be my future until my death. I'll be sure she has nothing but happy memories to live with and remember. Most importantly, I'll love her with every part of me. The memory ended with Severus and I sharing a glance as we held hands and lay together, side by side in the grass. His voice lingered as it fainted. I always protected you. I love you, Page Dumbledore. Always. I lifted my head as I took a deep breath, with tears streaming down my face. I felt it even if my face was wet. We still got much more of this story to go. Please stay tuned, and thank you for joining.